out of gears.
We're out of gears. I mean, I don't understand the concept of a picnic. You know, it's going to be cold by the time you get it where it is. The beverage will be hot. The food will be cold. I don't get the picnic thing.
So Jay, this is a Ferrari that a lot of people don't know about, and for a lot of people, sort of doesn't say Ferrari, but for me, this is very much a Donald Osborne Ferrari.
Well, you know, it's funny. This is a car I never had much interest in because I wanted to have a sportier Ferrari, but I really like this car. I'm surprised at how much I like it. You had one. Yours was an automatic.
Automatic.
Nothing against you. The idea of having a Ferrari with an automatic, especially an old automatic, which is the GM 3-speed, it just didn't make any sense. This was for the Italian industrialist who was over 60 years old and the stomach hit the wheel and didn't want to be shifting. It was too much work and all that kind of stuff, you know. So that's why I never paid much interest to them. These were dirt cheap for the longest time.
For a very long time, but they were very expensive, range-topping cars when they were new for Ferrari. And the other thing, I think that this is a case of misunderstood identity.
Yeah.
Yes, this is not like a 308 mid-engine V8. It's not like a Daytona, but Ferrari and Pininfarina really set out to do something very specific, to make an executive's Ferrari.
Right.
And this also, remember, this car was introduced in 1972 as a 365 GT4, and it was also a very conservative car. It was designed to be conservative. Something that a lot of people don't realize about Italy is that very wealthy people in Italy generally do not like to show their money.
Right.
And so you'll drive by a palazzo that looks like the walls are crumbling and the brickwork is falling. You walk through the doors and you have an unbelievable experience.
Right.
And so also thinking about the time of the Red Brigades in Italy as well, you didn't really want to go around showing off your wealth if you didn't have to. Now, of course, for anybody who knew anything, they could still tell this is a Ferrari.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's the idea of a very comfortable cross-country driver, even a continent crosser. You get into this car in Rome and drive up to Milan for lunch and then on to Paris for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this would be the Italian Rolls-Royce. You know, when Lamborghini built the Spada, it was billed as the Italian Rolls-Royce. It was a 4-seater car, very smooth, very luxurious, air conditioning and power windows and all the things that most cars did not have in the 60s, especially in Italy. And you could cover great distances with it. And this is sort of very similar to that. It's turbine-like smooth. It's amazing how it almost feels like an electric car. It's so smooth. I love the fact that it's a 5-speed. I think the automatic would be a little too boring for me. But I like the fact that I have just enough work to do. It's pleasing. It feels sensuous to go through the gears. It shifts nicely. It tracks wonderfully. I mean, I'm stunned at how good this car is.
This chassis is absolutely brilliant. Going back to the 4-seater thing, this is also a real 4-seater. Adults can actually sit in the back of the car. It's not just a 2+2. And to your point about rowing through the gears, I will have to, at this point, invoke the great Derek Bell, who years ago did a road test of the then new Porsche 928. And he was castigated by saying he actually liked the automatic 928.
Right.
Because he said that it really suited the power delivery of the engine, and there was something slightly unseemly about being in a very comfortable, luxurious car and having to work at shifting gears. Now, this car is glorious in its 5-speed form, without a doubt. Plus, it certainly sounds more like a Ferrari when you can extend it in the gears in a way that the turbo hydromatic is not going to allow you to do necessarily. But I will also say, and I've said this before, that driving the automatic version, there's nothing quite like the kickdown on a turbo-hydromatic transmission when there's a V12 in front of it.
Right, yeah.
It is magic.
Yeah, this is almost like a Mercedes 6.3.
Yes.
This would be the equivalent. Extremely powerful, extremely fast, but just so smooth and it's effortless torque. It's almost electric.
The characteristic that this engine has, which to my mind also lends its suitability to the automatic transmission, is that a very, dare we say, American way of that seamless power delivery that this has. This is not at all a temperamental, highly strung Italian engine.
Right, no, it's wonderful. Boy, it's and these seats look like something from the Cadillac Elvis coffin period, where they had the velour, but here it's not velour, but it's leather. It's what's voluminous? Is that the word I want? The leather wraps around you.
I will send all of the viewers of this to their research to say this interior is very much Poltrona Frau, which is a very old Italian furniture maker that makes the most comfortable chairs and sofas you will ever experience in your life. And again, this is the kind of car that you could spend hours and hours in on the road because these seats are wonderful. They're supportive enough. It's not as if you're sitting on an upholstered bench.
Yeah, but they
hold you in. But
they do feel like American seats with an Italian flair to them. There used to be a company in California called Italy 2000, and they opened like in 1999, or opened in maybe the mid 80s. No, mid 80s, about 88. So their furniture is like from the year 2000. But unfortunately, they stayed in business until about 2004. And now they had 4-year-old furniture, But it was, and they had this kind of stuff. These big chairs with this. It's exact color leather too. This seems to be a very
this natural leather is very Italian, very Italian indeed. And this version, as I said, the basic model came out in 1972, and this is also between this, the 400, and then the 412, which succeeded this car, was the longest running single Ferrari model ever. 1972 to 1989. They basically built the same car. And
well, this seems like a very polished, very finished, got all the bugs out of it car. It really, I'm stunned at how well this drives. I love the steering. It's power steering, obviously, but it's not so. I mean, there's enough. Do you think is this power? If you're on the road driving.
It's wonderfully weighted.
You wouldn't be sure. Weighted, that's
exactly.
Right. Obviously, when you park it, you realize it's power steering.
And in terms of ventilation, HVAC, as you have often observed, that Italian cars especially are very, very, very far behind American cars in that category. But especially in this second series of the 400, where they've got the proper air conditioning vents on the dashboard in the center, not just the dash top vents, which is like the earlier one, like I had, were equipped with, but also dual air conditioning. So it's actually air conditioning for the rear of the car. So that the rear seat passengers can get cool air. The irony of all of this, we're sitting in this car, which you'd probably agree with me is arguably the most American Ferrari you've ever sat in. And it was never sold in America.
Oh, this wasn't sold.
Never offered in America. It was during a period
They were gray marketed.
Correct. My car that I had, my automatic, was a gray market car, and it had some really hysterical features like the 85 mile per hour speedometer with the 55 picked out. And what was great about it is that they left the standard speedometer in, but after 85, they just put a little arrow. So it was great. I could actually pin the speedometer in my Ferrari, which was great. But the irony was the fact that, for reasons known only to Enzo Ferrari, he did not want to spend the money and the effort to get the engine certified for the American emissions and also the crash tests. And it's a shame because this car would have been extremely popular in America, but it was sold at a time when they actually sold no V12 Ferraris in America. There were only the V8s at the time this was sold. That's a And you'll see when we come to this turnaround as well, that for a not small car, it really handles the turns very well.
And this is the most high mileage Ferrari I've ever been in, 75,000 miles.
And still solid as a rock.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It's a great, again, there are so many old wives' tales about Ferraris that need to be put to rest, that they're never driven, you can't drive many miles, they're not useful, they're not usable.
Well, I don't think that one about not driven many miles. I mean, I reminded of that big lawsuit. There was a guy who had a Ferrari with 950 miles on it. He brought it in for the 1,000-mile check or whatever one it was. And they did belts. And the owner of the place was a real Ferrari mechanic. And he drove it to make sure everything, and he put 52 miles. Now it had 1,002 miles. And he sued for lost value of the car.
That's not the fault of the car, that's the fault of the owner.
Right.
And it's one of those things that, especially when you have a car which was for so long, like these were, very affordable to buy.
Right.
But you bought a bad one, it would cost the absolute earth to put right.
Right.
But once these cars are right, or if it's been very well cared for, they are so incredibly usable and they demand to be used.
Right.
They are happiest when being used. And I have to actually take a step back and get back to style for a moment, because I also happen to think this is an incredibly beautiful car. A lot of people said, it's a little boring. This car is designed by Leonardo Fioravanti at Pininfarina, and it was a period of time, you and I have had this conversation before, where Pininfarina did a number of cars that were very similar in proportion. This, the Fiat 130 Coupe, and the Rolls-Royce Camargue.
Right.
They all share a certain kind of basic architecture.
Well, this is so much better looking than the Camargue.
Without a doubt. Although the Camargue is...
And I love, look at the size of these vent windows.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really an airy cabin. Even with the windows up, you feel like you're outside. I mean, it's very good.
Exactly.
And that windshield is enormous.
It's absolutely immense. And they made a couple of different special models. A number of people, including Strayman, did convertible conversions of these, which, to my mind, were not terribly successful.
No.
They came out sort of looking like bad Jensen Interceptors with giant packs of top on the rear deck. But one of the cars that I think is so incredibly neat is that they made a shooting brake version of this, which is an amazingly beautiful car.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, very, very, very cool indeed.
Transmission is like butter. It's just great.
Someone else also commented, it's great that it's a 5-speed. Why didn't it have a gated shifter? Again, it's a different kind of car.
Right. Although I do like the gated shifter.
No, who doesn't? But I mean, it's...
Of course, with a gated shifter, you would have an awful lot of heat coming up through the center here, which you don't mind in a sporty car. But in this, you want to keep the temperature reasonably whatever degree you want. You don't want heat coming in there all the time.
No, these are fantastic cars. Very glad to see that they are finally getting the respect that they deserve, and indeed the most desirable of all are the very last editions, the 412s with a manual gearbox.
I mean, I gotta admit, it's a car I never would have considered until I drove it. Now I go, I kind of like this thing. It's pretty good.
And any day when I can get Jay Leno to like a Ferrari a little bit more is a good day in Donaldsville.
Well, no, they say that, but I do like Ferraris. The ones that I've driven, I find them to be I love the F40. That's just to be incredible cars. I just get a little annoyed at values and the idea that, you got to buy 3 Mondials before you're allowed to buy the 1 year. I mean, I just find that not very egalitarian. And so,
there's nothing egalitarian about a Ferrari.
Well, that's for me. But the fact when I deal with Porsche or McLaren, I get treated like a customer. Here's the information. Here's when your car will be ready. You just don't get that stiff arm. Although they've gotten much better.
I was going to say, I've had nothing but great experiences with Ferrari.
That's what people tell me. They got the 7-year warranty now.
Yeah, it's absolutely astonishing. And I guarantee you that if you wanted to buy a brand new Ferrari I can introduce you to people who would be very glad to treat you as well as you've been treated by any of those other manufacturers.
I just can't afford all the books. You know, because I always get books on one of the cars I have, and there are so many Ferrari books that it would cost me as much as the car.
Well,
I mean, my Carrera GT was not a success sales-wise, but oh my God, I must have 60 books on it. It's unbelievable. But it's really a car you can drive by sound. You almost don't need to look at the tach.
yeah.
You've got limitless torque here, and you can feel it.
It also delivers its, I don't know what the actual torque and horsepower curves are on this car, but it delivers maximum horsepower and torque fairly low end.
Yeah, well, between 35 and 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really, boy, it shrinks around you. It's a big car,
Yes.
but it drives like a small, I mean, I'm very impressed. I love the steering wheel. I really
It also,
like
again,
it.
for my all-important take a trip in a car, it's also got a very usable big trunk
Yeah, yeah.
as well.
See, I'm not a ticket trip guy. Like, let's go on a picnic. I just eat the food before we go. I'm fine. Now I don't have to carry the food. I just eat the food now. I mean, I don't understand the concept of a picnic. You know, it's going to be cold by the time you get it where it is. The beverage will be hot. The food will be cold. I don't get the picnic thing. Let's eat now and then go look at the
Well,
woods.
Jay, to go with some of your wonderful Bentleys, I will make sure that you get a proper picnic set with thermoses that will keep your beverages cool.
Yeah, that's what I need.
And the insulated containers that will keep your food warm, or best yet, pick great salads.
Yeah,
I know how
yeah,
big
yeah.
salad fan you are, so maybe not.
I think it makes great noises. I'm surprised you thought it was quiet.
It is quite, again, it makes great noises, but it's not at all raucous.
Right.
Is that a better way to express it?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. I always enjoy, especially at highway cruising speeds, there's enough of the engine though to keep you entertained,
Yeah.
but never too much to keep you from having a conversation or listening
Right.
to the radio. Well, Jay, riding with you in this car, I feel more like a sportsman and a gentleman every moment.
And this is a carbureted car, correct?
This is an injected car.
Oh, it is injected.
It's injected,
Okay.
yes.
Because I must say, it's very good. No popping or no banging, and geez.
No, these cars are superb. Absolutely superb.